Hello, hello, hello. Uh, I am deeply inspired by an interview I just watched on uh, Diary of a CEO. This one, for with the former CEO of Netflix, Mark Randolph, and I'd like to talk about that idea because I think it is especially key or especially fitting for INTPs. If I can summarize the story that he talked about, he said that. That the best ideas they had for Netflix, were not a result of knowing what to do. They were actually, the story goes, they would sit around and discuss an idea for 6 months. And then they would release the idea to the public and get absolutely zero traction. So they said, no, faster, faster. They would do the next one in 3 months. Still no traction. Faster, 1 month. Still no traction. Faster, 2 weeks, 1 week. It was getting to the pace where the stuff they released would very clearly have like typos and images aren't there. They were doing like it was even faster. They actually went to like 5 experiments a day. But what he discovered is it didn't matter. The quality of the idea actually didn't matter that much. What mattered much more is if it was the right idea. And if it was the right idea and the text was misspelled and the image was wrong, the people would still call in. People would sign up for the waiting lists and everything. They wanted this thing. They found the right thing, and it wouldn't have been anything that they thought. And so what he explained was that the thing to optimize for in your company is not coming up with the best ideas, is actually creating a culture where you cycle through many ideas as fast as possible, so you can find the good stuff. You can gather data. And I'm deeply inspired by this. I also watched another video by Alex Hormozy where he said the scale of what you're doing is probably too low, because someone was saying, I don't know if social media really works for me. I just can't really seem to get much traction. Alex Hormozy asks him how many pieces of content he releases per day. He releases like 4 pieces per day, and Alex Hormozy showed him like, dude, look at this. And Alex was releasing like 50 pieces of content per day. The other person understood, okay, I get it. And so we'll see how far I want to turn up the knob. But I do think it's an interesting idea to optimize my life. I'll say it that way. It's an interesting idea to optimize my life for experimentation. And I've already somewhat done this. And I'd like to walk through a few reasons why I know I did that. I've done this. But I'd like to see where this idea goes. And so first, I'll type through some experiments I have been doing. I've done experiments done. First of all, I've definitely focus money towards experiments. So like for example, I needed to buy an Arduino. I bought an Arduino. Organizing tools in general. Courses, logistics, computers, devices. I've really been working on learning how to focus, learning how to optimize my life for experimentation using money. Other experiments done. It's not on this channel, but I've been doing countless experiments even before I realized this idea I have about NE now. But I'd like to explore other experiments. Let's see. Hold on. What would I like to talk about here? So what have I done? Money. Act first, then adjust. So this YouTube channel is this idea. talking with people, attending events, work projects. There have been a few work projects that I just knew I wanted to do, even though I had no idea whether they will work. Do and find out. Don't try, or like the saying people have is, don't ask permission. Ask. What is it? Ask forgiveness. So I've been doing this, but now I'd like to think about the experiments that I'm not doing that I'd like to do. YouTube channel, definitely, or not definitely, well, the idea I'm exploring is 1 video per day. And recently I've sometimes not been posting that because I feel like I didn't have an idea. But with the mindset of experimentation, it doesn't really matter if I have an idea, especially if I have a list of experiments I would like to run. If I have no video idea, do the experiment. So an example of this is something like title card, or change, or animation, or subtitles, this kind of idea. The other experiments I'm running, I mean, I'll write out the experiments I'm currently running. I'm working on Arduino, so I'll keep running that experiment. Korean, podcast with friend. But the general idea I'd like to explore is, and I'll calm down a little bit to really find what I'm trying to say here. But the general idea is, I'd like to optimize my life for experimentation, while at the same time, I mean, speaking to myself here, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to move faster than my brain, but I would like to avoid trying to figure it out when instead I can test it out. That sounds exciting, and I can almost treat my life as like this perpetual startup. I can also tell you some other experiments I've completed recently. Ever since I've started this channel, and I've talked with my friend about how the way that I naturally act is through experimentation. That's how I most authentically take action. So since then, I've I started a skincare routine. You know, I'm 35 years old, so I've thought about what it would what I wondered how good my skin can look. So I added vitamin C serum. What is it called? Retinol, moisturizer, and sunscreen. Oh, and I added multivitamins. So that's one experiment I'm running. The other experiment is started organizing room. Doesn't look like it right now, but planned out number of dishes, idea for number of clothing items, containers ordered. So those are the results of certain recent experiments. Another form of experiments is affirmations, which I think are excellent. I'll talk about them some other time. Workout routine. I've added sprints. 5-minute bike sprints. Calorie deficit. I've lost 3 kilograms. Go every day. Add different weights. So these are things. Did I write Korean? Korean. Act like I can speak it, and just speak however I can. The identity comes before the ability. This is another experiment I'm running in Korea. I used to avoid speaking Korean, and the idea I was carrying with myself is because it's easier to speak in English and it'll be more efficient, I should do that and just kind of act like I don't speak Korean. But what I've started doing recently, and I think it'll absolutely pay off as soon as I get through the awkward middle stage, is just walk around acting like I can speak it and just say whatever I can, and then I will grow into my identity. So these are a number of experiments I've been running, but like Netflix, I would like to turn my whole life into just a perpetual startup. Of course, with some balance. If I need a rest, I should rest. But I would like to err on the side of experimentation. So this one here is probably going to go the slowest because my friend has to be with me with that. So in that case, I'm going to go with more solo projects for many things. For example, YouTube. YouTube is going to be a huge, I think I can see YouTube being a large experiment, large lab in the near future. Home lab. I can see this. I mean, Arduino is already added, but I'm going to get, soldering kit. I'm going to get 3D printer. So that's going to be another thing that I think the idea I was having was if I can optimize my life such that it is easy to experiment everything around me, that'd be quite interesting to do, because I think right now I am filling my life a lot with learning, but it would be interesting to tweak it a little more towards experimentation. That being said, I am really enjoying what I've been learning, but we'll see what this video, after I release it, how this video has me feel and think. Is there anything else I'd like to talk about with this? Hair transplant. That's the other experiment. Let's see. I'll add that here. I'll just schedule the consultation. All right. So what I find really interesting about this is all of these are just interesting ideas to explore and try. I'm not deciding what the outcome should be or choosing which one to do first and all that. That's T, right? This is Any, and I recently wrote a post talking about how being Any feels. Any really just feels electric. It feels like there are many things I just want to try, just to try it, because I have the freedom. And so I'm wrestling with that idea of asking myself the question: have I been a little too cautious? Have I been less cautious than is authentic to me, and I've been letting simply the habit of caution imposed on me by others keeping me or letting that dictate what I do. Whereas I would authentically like to be doing like many more experiments. I'll sit with that. I'll sit with that. Let me catch my breath. Okay, well, we will find out in the next video whether that is something I find true. But it is an idea I wanted to explore. And that's why I posted that today. Document, don't create. And I will see you in the next video.